limitation of wards and constituencies. The Commission is prepared by virtue of the constitutional provisions to review electoral boundaries if the need arises. The current electoral boundaries came into being on 17th February 2017. Thus, 17th February 2022 makes it 5 years. This qualifies the lower limit of 5 years for the delimitation of electoral boundaries as per Section 38, subsection 4 of the 1991 Constitution. Multi-tier elections. Pursuant to Section 43(2) of the Public Elections Act 2012, Act number 4 of 2012, and exercise of the powers conferred upon me by the above provisions. After consultations with the President of Sierra Leone, I hereby declare 24th June 2023 as the date for the conduct of presidential elections.
National Civil Registration Authority. Next, we have the Commissioner, the youngest, the smartest. She's not a person, but Commissioner Sanab Umosiri, Commissioner of the Western Region. And then, ladies and gentlemen, you have Uyun Commissioner. Uyun lovely Commissioner, over smartest. The ladies of all time, Commissioner of the Eastern Region, Commissioner Marian Sia Mojoy. We have the Commissioner, the Immaculate, over smartest Commissioner, the Commissioner of the Southern Region, Field Marshal, Commissioner Edmond Sylvester Alpha of the Southern Region. Ladies and gentlemen, again, in our midst we have the Chairman of the All Political Parties Registration Commission, Mr. Abdullahi Bangua. The Chairperson of Human Rights, she is here, Mrs. Patricia Danema. I'm pretty sure somebody's representing us. Oh, okay. Sorry about it. At times you have to go back to your script to check what has been written down for you. The Deputy Chairperson of the Human Rights Commission, you are most welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, I want to hand over this press conference to another person, that's the Alagba. Lukribom, the person with so many experiences from different fields of works, from Anti-Corruption Commission and others, which you can name. He's not a person. My boss, the 3-star flight marshal, the chief electoral commissioner who doubles of the National Electoral Commission. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEC, Mohamed K. Kone. I stand down.
I wonder what would be like after June 2024. Colleague commissioners, no, sorry, 2023. Because the number of press and the international, in addition to the international, please open here. No headlines on that. It's already planned. Colleague commissioners and staff of the Electoral Commission, chairman of the Political Party Registration Commission, the Director General, National Civil Registration Authority, the Chairperson, Human Rights Commission, members of the 4th Estate, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and the backbone of the Commission, staff of the Commission, good morning and thank you for honoring this invitation. The Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone is established by law to conduct all public elections and referenda. This mandate, I must say, has been done efficiently under my leadership with the support of my colleagues and management. We have made remarkable progress in the discharge of the statutory functions of the Commission. I have invited you here to give an update on progress made so far and the Commission's preparedness for the 2023 elections. Change of name. Pursuant to Section 33 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, the Commission will no longer be referred to as the National Electoral Commission, but the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone, or ECSL. In accordance with Section 33 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, I implore you all to use the name Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone, ECSL, in all your publications and statements. Restructuring process. In February 2021, the Commission achieved a milestone objective to restructure the institution in order to meet international best practices and standards. New departments were created. Other departments were also divided into two for exceptional performance and efficiency with key performance indicators. Capacity building programs. The commissioners and staff continue to benefit from the local international exchange programs, election observation missions, peer reviews, sessions, and other forms of training, all geared towards enhancing the performance of the team. Institutions such as International IDEA, the African Union, ECOWAS, the Electoral Commission of India, to name but a few, have all contributed immensely to the improved outputs in the work of the Commission. Quite recently, our ICT and data management voter roll departments were hosted to the Electoral Commission of India to understudy their results management infrastructure. Infrastructural project. In readiness for the 2023 elections, the Commission is currently constructing regional offices in Bo and Kenema region, southern regions. The procurement process for the rehabilitation of the regional office in Makeni, the national headquarters in Freetown, and the warehouse at Wellington are ongoing. Also, in order to improve on the ESL ICT system and operations, the Commission is currently working on the local area network. This will enhance the network and linkages with other offices, including NCRA. Strategy plan for the electoral cycle 2020-2024. Now see why I refer to 2024, because our strategic plan ended 2024. The Commission launched its strategic plan for this current electoral cycle 2020-2024 in May 2021, which has been distributed to all stakeholders. The strategic plan has 10 strategic pillars highlighting all Commission's programs and activities. I am pleased to say that we are very much on track with our activities and timelines as scheduled in the strategic plan. Elections management. The Commission in 2021 successfully conducted a total of 9 by-elections. In total, since an assumed office, we've conducted about 14 by-elections, including parliamentary and local council elections. We have also conducted about 20 paramount chieftaincy elections from 2020 to 2022 to date. But in 2021, we did about 17 paramount chieftaincy elections. These elections were largely peaceful and accepted, except for an isolated incident in some of these elections. And I think I was expecting that people would clap for the Commission. Legal reforms. After the 2018 multi-tier elections, both local and international election observation mission made 103 recommendations. Some were legal, some administrative, and others were related to other institutions. A national task force was formed in 2019 with a mandate, amongst other things, to implement the UAM recommendations and other related issues. With support from the European Union, the Commission contracted international and local experts to review the legal framework of the ECSR. Amendment to the PAE 2022 bill has been drafted and approved by Cabinet. It is expected that the bill will be laid in Parliament and will be approved before the end of the year. Key amongst the recommendations considered for legal reforms were fixed dates for presidential, parliamentary, and local council elections. So this will take away the controversy around who announces the dates and whether it's the president or the National Electoral Commission, because the date will be fixed in the Constitution. And I think that also we have solved the weekend discussions around not seeing the presidential election dates or the press release from State House. The other key highlight of the recommendations is the establishment of the National Electoral Sustainability Platform, reduce the nomination fees for candidates and nomination fees formula for all public elections. Relationship between NCRA and ECSL on the voter registration process. Reduce the resignation period of public officers and civil servants wishing to contest public elections from 12 months to 6 months. Provision for reserved seats for women in parliament. Reduce the boundary delimitation deviation range from 25% to 20%, plus or minus. Provision of a permanent fast-track elections petition and offences court. Stakeholders engagement. The Commission continues to engage stakeholders through its political party liaison committee meetings with 17 registered political parties, civil society organizations, the security sector, and other institutions. Moreover, the Commission at every by-election organizes a stakeholder meeting where campaign calendars are developed, messages of electoral education and electoral inclusions are discussed. Electoral inclusion. The Commission, as a way of responding to the current trend of gender, youth, and physical challenge persons, has created the Electoral Inclusion Department. This department, with support from the European Union, has organized several trainings for the aforementioned groups and also established external coordinating groups for the physically challenged and women. The essence of this group is to improve the participation of the minority groups in the electoral processes. Conflict Prevention and Mediation Working Group. In responding to the election violence, the Commission has signed a memorandum of understanding with 3 prominent civil society organizations, including the Interreligious Council, the Eminent Women Peace Mediators Sierra Leone, the Campaign for Human Rights and Development International. This group has attracted attention from both local and international partners and have proved to be very much efficient in all the by-elections we've conducted. Election preparedness. Election funding. Government of Sierra Leone has committed to fund the elections budget presented in Parliament by the Minister for 2020-2022 fiscal year. In fulfillment of its promise to the implementation to implement the election observation mission recommendations on the creation of the National Election Sustainability Trust Fund, I am pleased to inform you that the government of Sierra Leone in 2021 established the NASIT Fund and it is now operational. Next fund, sorry. This fund will be utilized by the Electoral Commissioner and related institutions of Sierra Leone, such as the PPLC, the Office of the National Security. Partnership. We are working closely with the Political Party Registration Commission, the security sector, and other democratic institutions to ensure voting proceeds safely and securely in all areas. The Commission continues to work with national civil society organizations, including the National Elections Watch, while it strengthens its partnership with international institutions. Voter registration. As we approach the 2023 elections, the ECSR, we undertake the update of voter register for the 2023 elections from 3rd September to 4th October 2022. The ECSR will extract the data of eligible voters from the civil register compiled by the National Civil Registration Authority, NCRA. Therefore, pursuant to Section 23 and 24 of the Public Elections Act, PEA of 2012, eligible citizens will physically present themselves at the registration centers for verification of their data and placement on the voter registers. The procurement for the voter registration equipment is underway. Voter registration centers. After thorough review of the voting centers across the country, the Commission has approved a nationwide increase of the voting centers by 10%. Presently, we have, in the last election, we have 3,300 centers. So doing your mathematics, I think we increased it to 3,600 attacks across the country. The Commission will also be undertaking an assessment and GPS mapping of all centers nationwide. During this period, with this exercise, some centers will be relocated to more appropriate locations with a view of promoting accessibility and fairness. Recruitment of staff. The Commission has commenced the process of recruiting both permanent and temporary staff who will assist the Commission to discharge its mandate. The ECS will continue to ensure that it strictly adheres to the guiding principles throughout this process. The limitation of wards and constituencies. The Commission is prepared by virtue of the constitutional provisions to review electoral boundaries if the need arises. The current electoral boundaries came into being on 17th February 2017. Thus, 17th February 2022 makes it 5 years. This qualifies the lower limit of 5 years for the delimitation of electoral boundaries as per Section 8, subsection 4 of the 1991 Constitution. Multi-tier elections. Pursuant to Section 43(2) of the Public Elections Act 2012, Act number 4 of 2012, and exercise of the powers conferred upon me by the above provisions. After consultations with the President of Sierra Leone, I hereby declare 24th June 2023 as the date for the conduct of presidential elections. Referencing the public notice of 11th March 2022 from the Office of the Press Secretary and Presidential Spokesperson, therefore, 24th June 2023 has been set for the conduct of presidential, parliamentary, and local council elections throughout Sierra Leone. Village head elections. Following the decision of the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development to postpone the village head elections to 2023, ECSL, in collaboration with the ministry, will today, Monday, 14 March 2022, commence pre-assessment and grant clothing process of villages in the Western Area Rural District. This will contribute to the identification of new villages and the GIS mapping of the village electoral boundaries. This exercise is in preparation for the conduct of the village head election scheduled to take place on the 11th of February 2023. Primary elections. The Commission, in league with the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, will conduct another set of 26 primary chieftaincy elections between now towards the end of the year. Detailed timeline indicating if affected chiefdoms and dates for different electoral activities have been decided and will be published shortly. Pending by elections. Following the death of 2 parliamentarians, the Commission will, on 26 March 2022, conduct by-elections in constituency 005 in Kailan District and constituency 073 in Poloko District. Campaigns are peacefully ongoing in the respective electoral areas. But I must inform you, ladies and gentlemen, that last week we received a notice of withdrawal from the candidate for NGC. Therefore, we have rescheduled the campaign period. In other words, we had nominated 4 candidates for this election. But with the withdrawal of the candidate for NGC, we will have 3 candidates to contest this election. Pursuant to Section 76(1) of the Constitution of Sierra Leone of 1991, the Clerk of the House of Parliament has notified the Commission of a vacancy in constituency 056 in Topolele District following the inauguration of a former MP, Honorable Alhaji Musa Bambafoe Polio Jallo, as paramount chief of Samaya Chiefdom. The Commission will soon declare the date for the conduct of this election. Local council by-elections. Currently, there are 5 vacancies for the office of councillors in Kenema, Falaba, Karine, and Poloko districts. 1 in each district, save for Poloko, with 2 vacancies. Now that the local council bill has passed in Parliament, the Commission will soon declare the date for conduct of these elections, of these by-elections. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to appreciate the government of Sierra Leone for their continued support to the work of the Commission. We also appreciate our local partners and our local and international partners, political party leaders, members, and the people of Sierra Leone. And we therefore continue to appeal to all community leaders, political party leaders, candidates, voters, civil society organizations, religious groups, and all citizens to work together to ensure that we produce credible elections, which will serve as an inspiration to the rest of the world. I thank you.
Thank you, Chief Deputy Commissioner and Chairman. At this point in time, members of the media, we will tolerate a few questions. We leave the rest for the Department of Media and Communication, who would allow to take all your questions. For now, just a few questions. Yes? It appears there are no questions. From exclusive, please state your name and the institution you are coming from.
Yes, Ayodele Binko is my name. I write to the exclusive newspaper. My question is for the Chief Commissioner. From NEC to ECSL, how much will that cost your institution during the 2023 election?
Okay. Name?
Lukule Moses is my name from Freetown Television Network. Mr. Commissioner, you confirm the public notice from State House the press secretary, and then you mentioned the aspect of registration, the national registration, which according to you is from the 3rd of September to the 4th. That is 1 month. Is 1 month enough for a biometric registration for the 2023 elections? Secondly,
One question each. Somebody else is asking another question. I'll come back to you. Thank you.
Lawrence Williams is my name, Freedom Post. I want to know what the commission will say, because we are heading towards the elections, and you spoke about the reforms, administrative, structural reforms that have taken place so far under your leadership, sir. And one of the, yeah, my question. I'm just premising my question. Okay. You cited the EU as one of the major sponsors or support donor funders for the elections. The EU stated in their final EOM report published about a month ago or less that the NEC has not taken pragmatic steps to improve the fundamental integrity of electoral results. I want you to actually comment on this as we move into the election. Thank you.
Well, I've got 3 questions. Take one more. Or for a lady. Right.
My name is Princess Pia from Radio Democracy. Just from what my colleague have just stated earlier, asking about the cost for the change, I just want to know the reason why from National Electoral Commission to Electoral Commission Sierra Leone. And secondly, with the announcement of the presidential election date, when will be the political calendar, the dates for the political calendar in terms of engaging their political parties, campaign, and so on?
Yes.
Okay. Now, response from the commission.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your questions and observations. First, let me just bring out information that I escaped in my statement, which is in the written document. The elections for the MP or paramount chief MPs and representative in Parliament will be conducted on 20th of May 2023. The change of name and the rationale. If you check the Constitution, it's clearly referred to the Electoral Commission. There shall be Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone. And therefore, when the Political Party Elections Act before the 2012 election, they had introduced the National Electoral Commission, the 2012. But looking at the Act and the Constitution, we think, and by the advice of our legal representative, that the name of Electoral Commission should be Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone, and not National Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone. We note the white paper reference for the constitutional review for the institution to be called National Electoral Commission. But in the interim, until that is done, what we have in the Constitution is what we want to pay reference to. That's the reason for the change. In terms of the cost, we're going to change our letterhead. We're going to inform our partners about this. But every document before this decision was taken that carried the name of the National Electoral Commission is valid. It's valid. So therefore, we will not expect to cost us, apart from the public education, and to ensure that people get familiar. We know the NEC is the recognized franchise in Sierra Leone. And therefore, I think with time, we're also used to the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone. And you can easily refer to it as ECSL or EXCEL. If you want to replace the NEC, you can refer to it EXCEL. The transformation and restructuring and improvement in the system. The EU and all other observation mission recommended about more than 107, but the technical team that was established, they reviewed these recommendations and accepted 103. And therefore, the 103, since 2019, we have been working to ensure that we implement those that have to do with legal reform. That's why we've mentioned how far we got. Those that have to do with internal administrative reforms, we're going to follow through, provided they will not affect our operations and they will not affect the legal provisions of the Commission. The rest assured, if they are administrative and is within the legal provisions or procedural manuals, we will ensure that we implement them for the coming elections. We have just announced the dates for the elections. And therefore, the next thing, we have developed the calendar of activities. We've mentioned the recruitment of staff for voter registration. And we have blown the whistle for political parties to start their politicking. With regard to the campaign period, if you have been here, you know when the campaign starts. It's about a month or so to the elections. So therefore, we're not talking about any official political campaign at this point in time. When the DPLC is here, he will be monitoring the conduct of the political parties. At this point, let me recognize the presence of the Inspector General of Police. I know you are having an important management meeting, so you came a little bit late. And also the Director of National Security, Coordinator of the National Security. You're most welcome. I invited these guys, the head of these institutions, because when I assumed the responsibility as the chair, I made it very clear that I'm aware that the seat of the Electoral Commission or the chair of the chair is very hot. And that being the case, it will be very much hard on me if I alone occupy that seat. And therefore, I challenge any of the institutions, including even the civil society organization and you, the media, that this is a responsibility for all of us. And we're all going to share the heat that will be emanating from that seat. So therefore, they are here to tell you that we are all in this together. It is a fight, it's a democratic process, and everybody is expected to play their role. If it's about security, don't ask them to provide security. The security sector is here. So therefore, I've exposed all of them that don't just say, "Nah, neck, I don't do this." I remember when that was at the ACC, when corruption was established. Even domestic level, people that they care about na neck, they say na corruption. ACC have changed completely. So it's the same thing. Whenever anything associated with elections, whether it's security matter, whether it's a defense issue, they will say, now go to electoral commission or NEC. Yeah.
Thank you. It's enough. We ask the Chief Electoral Commissioner and Commissioners to return. Thank you very much. You have done your best. Interviews, any other interview will be accommodated by the department, or you can have a special appointment with the Chief Electoral Commissioner and Commissioner. Members of media, Members of the media, it's a press conference, please. Let's calm down. Thank you. Thank you. Is that a question for me? You want to answer a question for the Northern Commissioner? That is not a question for me.
All right, guys. All right. This is speaking. Let me just stop this. We are going to have more engagements. This is just the beginning. So I know I'm going to be called by all media houses. We are ready, as we say. We've invited you here to give you what we have, how prepared we are. We are ready to okay. Make your observation. Who notes there? Baka? Okay.
Thank you. Members of the media, thank you for coming. Invited journalists, please stay. And then please be reminded that the following media houses are invited to the Vision Community Center, Radio Democracy, SLBC TV, FTN TV, Star TV, AYB TV, VRCT, Star TV, FTN, AYB, VRCT Radio, Lion Mountain, Vopad, and Culture Radio. 2 p.m. Vision Community Center. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. More time for more engagement. All questions, appointment for questions, for interview will be tolerated by the Office of the Chief Electoral Commissioner.
Good afternoon. Well, Formula 11, I listened this. Just want to make very, very short, as we all know the electoral process. We obviously they take place in Sierra Leone, because anybody in the local say 1 year to the completion of 5 years of the government in power, forgets a general, presidential, and a general election. So they get presidential, parliamentary, and even the mayoral elections. Well, this don't come out now that, of course, the Chief Electoral Commissioner, we see the chairman, he don't announce a change of name of National Electoral Commission to Electoral Commission Leone, and he don't even talk, say the reason why the notice will go out